Hey guys, it's your girl Lashes 20X. Oh, how are you guys doing today? Okay, so I've seen this tag kind of rolling around the internet. A lot of my favorite people that I watch have been doing this. I'm calling it a tag, but I don't think it's called a tag, but I'm calling it a tag. It's called the 10 things I no longer buy. I've seen beauty versions of it. I've seen like just random stuff. Mine is a mixture of beauty and random stuff. I've seen people do 15. I've seen people do 10. And I'm not sure who created this tag. If you know, let me know. I have watched Jessica Braun. I thought she created this tag, but I could be totally off base here. I will put her channel down below. I saw Kelly Gooch do this a while back. I also saw a couple of other people do it, so I'll link everybody I've seen do this tag. I'm calling it a tag. Like I said, I don't know if it's a tag, but it's been going around. Every time I look in my feed, I see either 10 or 15 things I no longer buy. So I was like, you know what? That would be a cute little sit down video to film. So that's what we're going to do today. Funny story, not so funny to me, but I did do this video a couple of weeks ago. I filmed it and the volume was messed up on it. So I'm refilming it. Hopefully the volume's okay. You couldn't hear me, so hopefully you can hear me now. So I am very old school. I like to have notebooks and write down things. And no, that is not on my list. I will always buy notebooks and pens because I am old school. I don't want to put everything on my phone. I'm not one of those people that type in notes on their phone. I like to actually write it down. I'm very old school about that. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on into this. 10 things I no longer buy. I would love to hear what you guys no longer buy. Leave me in the comments. I would love to read. Just put one thing that you absolutely no longer buy. I'm very, very nosy and very curious. Okay, let's get started. So, number one, this one kind of makes me sad a little bit. This one is photos. You guys, back in the day, okay, back in the day, I remember always having film that I needed to get developed. Always, okay? That was the thing. We didn't have, you know, the cell phones back in the day where everybody just took shots of whatever. You know, I didn't do, you know, professional photography or any of that kind of stuff. We didn't have cell phones. It was just you buy a disposable camera, you take some photos or whatever, or you have a regular camera and you go get them developed. Well, I no longer do that because obviously I just use my phone to snap a picture, and it's kind of sad because I don't have a physical photo to place in my home. But so that, I'm not saying that that is like something I'm proud of. I'm just saying this is something I no longer purchase. I did get from my son's girlfriend, Ashley, one of the best gifts I've ever gotten. So I do think this would make a great gift. It's just not something I purchased for myself. But one year she had looked at my Instagram and she had went and actually took photos of them, had them developed, and actually gave me photos from my Instagram that I really loved of my kids and myself, and just family photos, and she put them in frames and stuff with me and my husband, me and my kids, and she gave me that, and I thought that was one of the most memorable, sweetest gifts I've ever gotten. So it's kind of like a bittersweet that I no longer, you know, you no longer go and you take photos, you know, vacation photos on a disposable camera, and then you're excited to get the film back and you look at it and then you get to have physical photos. I miss those days because I just don't ever, I mean, you can, it's very simple. You can go get your photos, you know, done off your phone and all that kind of stuff. I just don't do that anymore. And it's kind of bittersweet, you know? So I just wanted to mention that was definitely number one thing I thought of, was like, I don't buy photos anymore. I don't. All right, number two, magazines. Okay, this is very nostalgic for me as well. Back, I would say about 5 years ago, okay, I used to buy magazines like crazy. Me and my son Harrison, he was homeschooled, so about 5 years ago, when I was homeschooling him and stuff, we would go to Barnes & Noble's daily, weekly, and we knew everybody that worked there. It was super fun to see everybody, and he would go and read tons of books, and I would go get like every magazine off the shelf, go get a cup of coffee, and we would sit and we would have like that would be like our special mom and son time. You know, we would read books together, and I would like have my alone time, he would have his alone time, but then we would read together, and it was so much fun. I miss those days. And when I was thinking about those days, like I would always buy magazines for fashion and for makeup. Like nowadays, all you have to do is look on Instagram, Pinterest, screenshot it, and if you want to recreate a look, or YouTube and you want to create a look, you screenshot it, you got it, bam. But 5 years ago, I wasn't into social media. You know, I wasn't on YouTube, I wasn't into social media, so I always just bought magazines. That was what I did. If I wanted to know what was the trendy new handbag, what was the new trendy jean, what was the new fall makeup look, I would always buy fashion magazines, at least 5 every time I went. And then when I traveled, I always bought tons and tons of magazines so I could have something to read, which gets me into number 3. I no longer buy physical books. Now, this is also nostalgic and bittersweet. Like, I remember the day of newspapers and where you would actually hold something to read. You know what I mean? Like, I just remember my dad always having a magazine and a cup of coffee in the mornings. And I miss that we don't have that physical anymore. You know, the phone books, that book that you hold, like the magazine, the newspaper, the phone books, everything is on our phones now. So basically, I no longer buy physical books. If I want to read a book, I will just do the online thing. I have an app on my phone where I do the audiobook thing, and I'll just either buy the ones that read to you, or sometimes I'll buy ones where I can just kind of scroll through and read myself. But I no longer buy physical books. So sad, really. All right, number 4, I no longer buy, this is beauty, I no longer buy makeup wipes, and I know a lot of people quit buying these. Back in the day, I would remove my makeup with makeup wipes, and I felt like I did not know anything about skincare back in the day, so I would actually wash my face or wipe my face with the makeup wipe, throw it away, and I would call it a day. Like, I cleaned my skin, you know what I'm saying? And then when I started YouTube, I always bought makeup wipes to wipe off swatches and stuff like that. Nowadays, all I do is use these like little makeup erasers. You can buy tons of these. I always wash mine and they're clean again. Sometimes they get stained, but you know, it's fine. But you don't have to worry about buying new ones. You know, just throw them in the wash machine, wash them. So I no longer buy face wipes anymore. So that is, you know, so a lot of these things are very nostalgic for me, because I just remember back in the day, like, that was the thing, you know? So, okay, number 5. This one, probably a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, what? But this is honest truth, okay? So when I first started my YouTube channel, every single time there was a YouTuber doing some type of collab, whether it was Jaclyn Hill, whoever it was, as long as I saw a YouTube collab, I freaked out, and I had to buy it like right on the spot. Like, I didn't think twice about it, I just bought it. These days, I honestly cannot remember the last time I've bought a YouTube collab product, like beauty product. Even the Samantha March Ofra thing. And I love Ofra and I love Samantha March, but I didn't buy anything from that collection. And I know that Jen Loves Reviews came out with a collab with Ofra, and there's one shade in there, well, 2 shades in there that I thought, they look beautiful. I love Ofra liquid lipsticks. This might be my jam, but I didn't buy that collab either. I I'm just not really into collab makeup these days. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it is, but I don't know. I just don't. There's not really a specific reason why. I just remember, like, back in the day, anytime someone came out with a product, I was super excited and I had to have it. But I guess maybe there's just so many of them now that maybe that's why I just don't get excited about it anymore. I'm sure if it was my collab, I would be totally excited about it, but I don't purchase YouTube collab makeup products anymore. Not saying I wouldn't, and I'm not saying I never would, but I just don't run out and do that anymore. Okay, number 6 is definitely I no longer buy thing. I no longer buy high-end mascaras. And what I mean by that, because you are going to see me talk about, spoiler alert, I'm not going to tell you which one. There is a new high-end mascara that is my absolute new holy grail. But I'm going to explain this the best I can. Okay, so what I mean by this, I'm not just going to run out and purchase a mascara, a high-end mascara, just because it's new. And just because I want to try it out for $20 to $27 like I used to. I used to be so bad about that. Like, as soon as there was a new release mascara, had to buy it. $27, $25. I would always buy high-end mascaras, right? And then I would try it out and maybe I wouldn't like it. So what I'm saying is that if I'm going to buy a high-end mascara, I am buying the mini for about 12 to 13 bucks. Because in my head, this makes sense, okay? Because basically, it's going to be around the same price as a drugstore mascara, right? You're going to get to try it out just to see if you like it, just to see if you love it. And that's what I've been doing. So if I do buy high-end mascara, it is the mini one. I try it out, and if I absolutely love it, hell yeah, I will buy a full size of it. But if I don't love it, I'm just gonna, you know, I've wasted 12, 13 bucks and I'm just gonna finish it up. Mascaras are one of those things that you're not gonna keep forever. You know what I mean? You're not gonna keep it for a long time. You use it for a few months. I'm one of those people, I will use my mascara till it's freaking dry and it's crusty. That's just the way I am. I am getting my money's worth out of mascara. But what I'm saying is I'm not throwing away 20-something dollars, $30 down the toilet for mascara that I don't know if I'm going to love. So I'm going to buy the mini version for $12 or $13, the same price as the drugstore mascara. And then if I love it, then I can go buy full size. You see what I'm saying? I felt like I had to explain that a little bit. I didn't want to like throw you off guard when you see like my monthly favorites or when you hear me talk about a specific new high-end mascara that I've kind of fell in love with. So just wanted to address that. All right, number 7. This is probably going to shock you. It kind of shocked me when I wrote it. It's kind of a twofer, honestly, but I no longer buy planning stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. I have not been in a planning mood lately. I quit buying planning stickers because it's so expensive, you guys. If you're not into the planning community, you're not going to get what I'm talking about. But like for a set of like, it only comes in like weeks, okay? So you're having to buy a new set of stickers. Joe, I know you know what I'm talking about. You're having to buy a new set of stickers each week. They're usually, the ones I buy are $30 a piece. So I was spending $30 a week on stickers. And yes, it's very therapeutic. Yes, it's so much fun and I get so much enjoyment out of it. But honestly, I haven't done that. I haven't done planning. Oh my gosh, this whole year of the pandemic, when I've had tons of time on my hand to plan, I guess maybe it's because we're not doing a lot of things these days and I don't have like tons of things to write in my planner, but I just got to the point where I got really bored with spending all my money on stickers. Does that make sense? So that is part of this. The other part of it is I'm no longer buying scrapbooking stuff. I used to be a huge scrapbooker. When my kids were little, I have so many of their baby books that I actually, you know, made with like cute little, I would just make everything. Everything like was handmade. And, you know, you can buy all this scrapbooking stuff and scrapbooks and just, you know, fix your pictures up the way you wanted to. And, you know, you would put your photo in there. And I had some from Disney World, a lot of vacation ones, some from my kids' school. And they can just look back on the scrapbooks that I made for them when they were a child. And they can be like, and keep those, you know what I mean? But since they've grown up, I no longer do scrapbooking. It's just something that I'm not interested in anymore. But I'm thinking maybe one day when I have grandkids, I would probably rethink that, and maybe I would do some scrapbooking. But none of my kids have children, knock on wood. And so none of my kids are married. None of them have children. So I'm not a grandmother. Don't plan on being a grandmother for a while. So yeah, until I am, maybe I will bring back the scrapbook. But as far as now, no more planning stickers and no more scrapbooking. All right, where are we at? Number 8. This might be a shocker, but I am no longer purchasing Victoria's Secret lingerie and stuff. And the reason why I'm not doing that, besides the pandemic, is I used to go in Victoria's Secret and I would spend like hundreds of dollars on Victoria's Secret bras and panties like all the time. And you can look back on my channel when I first started YouTube. I did so many Victoria's Secret hauls because that was one of my favorite places to spend my money, was Victoria's Secret. But I mean, just one bra at Victoria's Secret is like 60 bucks, and I would buy like a bunch of them. And it just adds up, you know, and there's so many like online brand bras that I like now. And a lot of stuff I buy is online, and I really like Target. There's just a lot of other places I like to buy my bras and panties now. So I'm just not huge on Victoria's Secret anymore. I think you can still buy like a really good bra and panty set at Nordstrom or just, you know, a lot of other places. So that is my thing. No longer spending a lot of money on lingerie. Okay, number 9. I am no longer buying, I'm not going to say I'm no longer buying, but I don't buy as much new release products anymore. I felt like for a while there, when I first started my YouTube channel, as soon as something was released, whether I liked it or not, I had to buy it because I wanted to try it out. But I learned that most of the time, people are going to watch a big YouTuber talk about a makeup product or a palette or a foundation before they're gonna watch my review. So just because something comes out, I don't feel like I have to run out and purchase it. Now, if I'm really interested in it or if it's something on my radar, I will definitely buy it, even if it is new release. But usually I will kind of watch a few reviews first, and then I'll be like, ooh, that looks interesting, let me pick it up. But back in the day, I feel like about, you know, 3 years ago, like I had to buy, as soon as it was launched, I wanted something. And I wanted to review it on my channel, but then I realized, you know, those videos that I did just weren't getting any views. And I was like, damn, I just spent like $100 on this product and nobody really cares to hear my opinion. So I just learned that, like, let the big YouTubers review the stuff they're getting in PR for free, and everybody can watch their reviews, and then if I am interested in it, I can share it with my subscribers. But that's my things I'm no longer, you know, buying. Number 10, I no longer buy, I have no subscription boxes, none. I used to be huge on Stitch Fix, Trunk Club, there was so many fashion ones I used to do. I can't remember, was it like Yoga Club or something? Yoga something. It was a workout I had 2 workout subscription boxes. I loved Stitch Fix. That was like my main thing I did on my channel. One of my first videos ever was a Stitch Fix video. And I used to do a lot of food unboxings. That was a big thing back in the day. I used to have every beauty subscription known to man. I honestly loved unboxing things, but then I would even do like the mask subscriptions, like the sheet masks. I don't wear sheet masks anymore. That should be on here. Damn it. I'm gonna have to add that. All right. But yeah, I no longer buy any like the FabFitFun boxes, clothing boxes, makeup boxes. I no longer get any subscription boxes. And it just got to a point where most of the stuff I would get in those boxes, I would just put in my giveaway anyway. And I just never really used the stuff. You know what I mean? There'd be like one or two things I'd be really excited about, and the rest of the stuff I'm like, what is this? So I'm not saying I will never get a subscription box, because I think they're cool. I think it's fun to get your, you know, box and be excited about it. But as much makeup as I have, I don't feel like it's a necessity for me to have every makeup subscription there is and every clothing subscription, because honestly, the clothing one, it just got overwhelming for me. I would get clothes and I would just buy them just because they were sent to me, and they would sit in my closet with tags on them, and it was just very wasteful. So I quit doing all that kind of stuff. Now I just purchase makeup and clothes. If I really want them, I will go out and buy them. And I'm gonna add number 11 because it just popped in my head. Sheet masks. I no longer buy those. I used to, like I said, get a subscription box sheet mask. I used to give away a lot of sheet masks. I still have a few in my Shop My Stash that I am giving away to you guys because I don't use them anymore. But Coffee Break with Danny got me really wanting to use sheet masks when she used to use them all the time. So, and I always thought, wow, her skin is so glowy and perfect. So I was hooked on those. I no longer buy sheet masks. I have a totally different skincare regimen now, and I'm really happy with it actually. So, and I'm definitely going to share that with you guys soon, but not just yet. But yeah, that's number 11. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it kind of fun to hear my take on the 10 things I no longer buy. 11 things. And please leave in the comments, what is one thing that you no longer buy anymore? I would love to read your comments. If you found this video fun, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out a lot. And yeah, if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Michelle. Please hit that subscribe button and be part of our Lashes Tony XO family. We would love to have you here. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.